Ciao!
Ciao! Siamo Alice,
Sato!
Melissa, and we're here to talk to you about the VIA 2024 project.
Hi Melissa. Past 10 years, there's many fine Italian wine region became more traditional. Can you give me some example of the region and the winemaker and also winemaking technique they use?
That's a great observation, Sato. I know that in Tuscany, for example, the Bucciarelli family, they are focusing more on traditional varieties. They're staying away from the international varieties of Merlot and Cab Sauv that became popular for Super Tuscans and are focusing on Sangiovese and native varieties. Ezio Bucciarelli, actually, he was really frustrated by his colleagues kind of straying away and following the Super Tuscan path, that he made his own IGT wine based on Sangiovese and Canaiolo, 90% Sangiovese with 10% Canaiolo, and called it Gandino after the founders of the estate. They also stay away from the French oak barrique aging that's become popular, and they opt to instead use Slovenian and Tuscan oak in large barrels, so it's not so much of a new oak flavor on their wines. And so as a result, their wines have the purity and elegance reminiscent of the traditional Chiantis of the past. So that was Tuscany. Alice, what are you hearing about in Piemonte about traditional producers?
So for me, when I think about this topic, I think about whole cluster fermentation. This is a technique that dates back to before the mid-20th century when distemmers machines were invented. And producers might decide to use this technique that, as the name suggests, consists in fermenting grapes that have not been destemmed to enhance color characteristic of the wines, the tannins, allowing for more ageability, and amplify the aromatic bouquet, adding some herbal notes and magnifying the fruit character of the wine. A potential risk of this technique would be to have rustic green tannins, so it's very important to harvest when grapes have properly lignified. Notable examples include Fontana Fredda in Serralunga, who recently started making a Nebbiolo with up to 50% whole fermented grapes, Monte Maletto in Carema, and also very interestingly to me, Enrico Serafino in Alta Langa uses this technique for its Metodo Classico. Hey Sato, didn't you just come back from Etna?
Yes, Alice. I just came back from Etna. The Etna DOC became more traditional past 10 years, I felt. Focused more on the area's volcanic soil and local grapes, Nero Mascalese and Caricante. What I felt, what's different in farming and winemaking is there's three factors. Number one, farmers start using the old vineyards again. These vines are special because they are not grafted and give better grapes. And number two, eco-friendly farming. Many farmers now use organic and biodynamic farming to protect the soil and natures. Number three, old technique in winemaking. Instead of modern method, more winemakers now use old ways like fermenting wine in a big clay pot and aging in large barrels. For example, Benanti. In the past decades, Benanti has been a key player in driving these changes. They've been the forefront of using sustainable method in farming and winemaking. The wine predominantly crafted from local grapes such as Nero Mascalese and Caricante, as I mentioned, which beautifully showcase the unique character of the Etna terroir. So overall, in the last 10 years, the Etna DOC region has seen big changes. Winemakers are going back to the old ways, focusing on the local grapes and the special volcanic soil. This has made Etna wine even more special and famous around the world.
So we've seen over the last 10 years, 3 different regions where have gone back to more traditional techniques. Tuscany, where we've seen traditional winemaking with Botti as opposed to Barriques, and also the turn back towards traditional grape varieties. Piemonte, where we've seen the turn back to traditional winemaking, and also Etna, where we've done both traditional winemaking and native grapes.
We hope you enjoyed our video, and grazie.
Grazie.
Ciao.
Grazie,
Ciao.